So, Georgia Peck, what's going on in your life right now?
Wow, that's a very broad question. Well, what?
Well, when we were when we were talking
What's up?
before,
What have you done today? I don't know.
Today, well, I have literally not been on my phone at all.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I got up at around 7:30, and then I did like my little mindfulness routine. So I got up and I stretched on my bedroom floor because that's very nice, and I also did some meditation and just little things like that. Oh, and then I made oats because I have to have oats every day.
oats are great.
Yeah, best breakfast.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, that is really epic.
That's a lot of really cool stuff that like nobody, like not very many people do, but everyone like should do.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
What's the first thing that you did? Let's break it down.
The very first thing I did was open my eyes.
Bro, that is so deep.
Yes.
I think I went downstairs to get water because I was really thirsty.
Okay.
And then I literally just typed onto YouTube just like stretch routine because I find it so much easier to just follow someone else's tutorial and I don't have to think about it as much. So it like makes it more accessible because if I try to do it myself, I think I would be like, I can't be bothered today. But it's like having somebody accountable, but it's like not.
All right, yeah. It's kind of like they're there and like guiding you, sort of.
That's interesting because it's like it's motivation, and when you're like early up in the morning, all of that completely goes. So is it that like almost cheering you on to do it, or is that the kind of the purpose of using a tutorial? Would you say that it's like?
At first it was, but now I've kind of got that motivation anyway because I know how much it helps. It's more like having someone else there who's kind of being a teacher and I can follow their tutorial and like they've got all the information there, so I don't really have to think about it. Because when you first wake up in the morning, the first thing you don't want to do is like, I have to make up a yoga routine, I have to like do this.
I see.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that could suck the motivation out of you in the morning.
Yeah.
Even more than life already does.
I find sometimes I do plan out my days and plan out my mornings. I don't like do all the yoga stuff, although I think I should, but I find just doing a plan before you go to bed is a little bit better than like just getting up straight away. But yeah.
Yeah. It's like a lot of things I do, I like a few months ago I was like, I should do this. And then I finally got around to doing it, and yeah.
All right. Oh, nice.
It's quite cool because the thing that I saw on your Instagram story, you were talking about managing expectations, and it just encapsulates pretty much everything that you ever want to do, and especially with just what you just said. So, because managing expectations is super important. What was like? Because you're doing a lot of stuff in the morning to like help you be more mindful and stuff. What was the goal of what would you try and achieve by doing all that stuff?
Well, it's more like with mindfulness, you are more aware, you're more conscious, and I've learned that you are literally the creator of your reality. I know that's super deep, but it's like so true. And I found just by shifting my mindset, my whole life has like changed positively. I just see things in a different way, and it's just so much better. I don't really know what my goal was. I think it was just because I know a lot of success comes from your mindset. So I was...
Yeah.
Definitely. That's really cool.
Yeah, I agree with that, definitely, yeah.
I know Oscar does a lot of weird things about his sleep. We won't say it just yet, just so we can't spoil.
Yeah.
I'm interested.
What are your thoughts on like sleep and stuff before we reveal what Oscar does?
Okay. So I used to like not care about sleep. I was like, yes, all-nighters. If you pull an all-nighter, you are so cool. And then I realised that is really not good for you. Like sleep is like pretty much everything. It sets up your whole day. I know if I haven't slept well, I'll literally just feel so tired and not be able to concentrate on anything. So sleep is super important, I think. Yeah. And so does science. It thinks that too.
Yes, that's true. Now, Oscar, what time did you wake up today, out of interest?
Today, I woke up at 5:30 in the morning, but sometimes I wake up a lot earlier.
Oh my god, wow.
I'm one of those people that gets up super early.
I rate that. I'd love to.
I used to, when I was about 14, 15, I used to be, like most other people, that would want to stay up until midnight and then go to sleep and then wake up at like 9, 10 a.m.
Yeah.
But I eventually, around the time of my GCSEs, I thought, you know what, I want to actually start, revising for them. And I find that having other people about is a bit distracting. So I made myself go to sleep earlier and get up earlier so I could be up before everybody else. So I could just be by myself and focus on my work and what I want to do. And that just kind of stuck. And I just kind of do it all the time.
That's really smart.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I do like getting up early. It's just like, especially in the summer when it's light and it's like daylight, but there's nobody about. It's like, it's pretty cool. But yeah.
Yeah.
It's very impressive. You always go on WhatsApp or something and you just see last seen or last online at like 4:30, and it's just like, what are you doing? And then we have some other friends who like do all-nighters and they're last online at like 5, but that's because they haven't gone to bed yet.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of an overlap there as well when I've just got up and they're just about to go to bed.
Yeah, it's crazy. So what time do you go to bed then?
I go to bed normally about 9:30, 10 o'clock normally. I find I don't really need much sleep personally, but I find that sleep is important as well. So sometimes if I'm
very individual.
But yeah. It's like personally for me, I find like for some reason I don't need much sleep and I can get by all right. But of course, you need whatever your sleep requirements are. Go to sleep when you want to sleep and get up when you want to get up and have like a schedule.
Yeah.
Very, very, very true, sir. With like sleep and stuff, because I had like I'm not going to say a battle with procrastination because that's a bit of a weird way of saying it, but procrastination was an issue in my life, and the like latest thing that I attributed it to was like poor sleep and stuff, as far as like concentration and actually doing what you want to do rather than not. One thing that I saw when I was procrastinating, trying to solve my procrastination, looking at YouTube videos about how to solve procrastination, which is actually good procrastination, which is a bit funny.
Yeah.
Which is a bit ironic. There was a thing that was said called, it was a quote saying that most people aren't lazy, they're just doing something that they don't like. What are your thoughts on that, Georgia Peck?
Okay, so I think I saw a quote as well, and it was like, most people aren't lazy, you're just doing the things that aren't aligning with your like goals. So it's like for me with my procrastination, I wasn't doing things I didn't like. It was just things that weren't really going to get me to what I want to do. So if I was going to be like, I want to, I don't know, write out a really inspirational Instagram post, I would instead like clean my room, or I would go for a walk, and I would just not do that.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I used to procrastinate quite a bit, and I say I still do actually. Even though I am, getting up early in the morning and whatnot, I still have a habit of doing it for some reason. I think, well, for me, it's my. Oh, it's just got off. Anyway, I think for me, procrastination, I find it's just I don't want to do the thing that I want to do. And I've got to be motivated to do it. Like, when, with my schoolwork, I'd only want to do economics because I enjoy it, and maths not so much. So I find that it's a bit like I guess I kind of agree with what you're saying, Georgia, because, like, I want to go study economics at uni. Therefore, I'm like, I want to do economics and study that over my other subjects, which I procrastinate on. So, yeah.
I guess well, I don't know, it depends if that quote, how accurate that quote is, but would you say that, like, so, for example, if I wanted to become a lawyer or something, and I wanted to like, I was doing law at university, but I kept procrastinating. Would me procrastinating be an indicator that that kind of thing wasn't for me, or is it that I need to have like a mindset change to like actually do what I want to do? Because I do kind of like it, but then it's one of those things that you know you kind of like, but then sometimes you prefer to do other things. So I don't know.
That's really interesting, actually, because I feel this exact same way with some things. On one hand, you kind of have to like really understand what your brain is telling you, because like if you're procrastinating because you don't want to get it done, it's either because you actually don't like it, or it could be a sign of like perfectionism. That was in my experience anyway, was like you don't want to start something because you don't want to get it wrong. So that could be something, and then that is to do with mindset that you would need to kind of work on, I think.
Yeah.
That's very true. And would you say that like all that mindfulness stuff is helping with that sort of kind of motivational side of things, the stuff that you're doing in the morning and things?
Yeah, it definitely is, because I've been doing like some online courses and everything like that, and it doesn't just focus on like just breathe in this way. It like forces you to change the way you think, because like automatically we have negative thoughts because all we want to do is survive. Like that's what our body wants. And, so it like changes these negative thoughts, and you think like, is this actually true? What I'm saying to myself, and then if it's not, you just change it.
Yeah, it's very, very true. We were doing depression in psychology, and that it was really interesting because it's like when you're depressed and stuff, or you have clinical depression, it's just anyone can interpret something in a way that's like bad, and it's just a testament to how important mindset is. So, for example, like it's, I don't know, because like I think I'm a believer that anything that like happens, there's a way of interpreting it in a good way, and I think that comes when you've got like a good mindset and stuff. One mindset that I have as far as like getting to where I want in life, which I'd like to hear your thoughts on. It's like the two like fundamental things that you need. It's effort and also luck. And some people get more lucky as far as getting what they want. So, like, some people know their mum who works at a law firm, which means that they can get in quicker. And some people don't have that, so they have to put more effort in. But the way that I see that kind of relationship is that, like, it's not, well, if you see that relationship as being not fair, as in like, oh, why should I have to put more effort in, kind of thing. I don't think that's a good way of like seeing things, because it's gonna just make you sad. But if you see it in that like it's just luck, and some people have a different situation to me, but that doesn't mean that I can't do it. It just means I have to do a different path. And arguably, if you're putting more effort in to do something than someone else, it kind of shows that you're hardworking and stuff. So is that the kind of thing that you'd aim for as far as like long-term aspirations?
Yeah, mindset. I actually just recently did a post about comparisons. So it's like if you look at someone successful, like if I want to become an actor, I'll look at Jennifer Lawrence and be like, she had her dad who was a director, and that would have been an easy way. But obviously, there's nothing you can change about you don't have someone who can get you into where you want to be. So you do have to find a different way, and that is fine because we're all on our own journeys. What was your question before?
I don't actually know, to be honest. I guess it's just how you see with your, because at the moment your day-to-day life is experiencing a mindset that you've like tailored and chosen for yourself. So just as far as how you see long-term goals, just how do you like see them being made up of, kind of thing?
So it's like with the luck thing, is you kind of have to put yourself in situations in which you could possibly get that luck. So and it's like super spiritual, but like the kind of things you put out into the world, you will get back. So, I don't know, if I was kind to somebody then, and I keep doing that, then I'm going to get kindness back. And so when it comes to like luck and stuff, I think you just have to see the opportunities. And a lot of people would overlook the opportunities or make excuses. But there is definitely ways all around you.
Yeah, that's very true. I think an important thing about that statement, which I just completely glossed over, is like what you mean by luck, and because there's a lot of different things. Because like there's like a spiritual kind of, if I pray then I'll get good luck kind of thing, where it's like a third person who's giving you luck rather than just the situation.
Yeah.
The way that I saw luck was that just it's like something that's not particularly in your control but happens to go your way, but then that's not really a good motivation thing, because it's kind of explaining that it's not in your control. So like I think it should be just anything that's good, but then because like you said, if you go make friends with someone, then that's you in the control that's making the good thing. So it's kind of like just a good thing in general. So I think people see luck in a weird way that isn't as productive as it.
Yeah, they rely on just like having things come to them rather than taking action.
Yeah, because if you like followed the thing that I was saying originally, just line by line, it's just that like, oh, well, I'll sit tight until something happens because it's not up to me kind of thing. Yeah. Don't follow my voice from before, listeners.
Also, with the luck thing, I mean, I guess what you could interpret like, what's it? Talent. Yeah, you could probably interpret maybe talent as just being lucky in a sort of way, maybe.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, actually, I read something the other day, and it was like, if you put, I think it was something like 600 hours into something, then you will become one of the best people at that thing. So anyone can become talented at anything, I think. So like if you're really bad at painting, there is a way to become really good at painting. It will just take more time. And it's just like lucky that someone else may have the talent already, but then
it only gets you so far.
Yeah.
Like,
That's true, and I guess it comes back to the thing where it's like some people might just be very genetically predisposed to be good at singing, or they've had a lot of training when they were young, but that doesn't stop you from training yourself. And it's the thing that like, if you saw someone who'd had training from when they were 2 and they'd had it all their life, but you just like you'd like gotten a second job to pay for your new lessons and that kind of thing, it's a more like fulfilling way of getting the same thing. So people see that like, oh, she's such a good singer, but like, is she really going to be as satisfied as you would be if you did it through your way of getting to it?
Yeah, I mean, anybody can become an expert or professional at any skill, regardless of age. Just like put the effort in, like, you know.
Yeah.
Very, very true.
Literally anything is possible, is all, you know.
Oh.
Sky is your limit.
Yeah.
That's nice. A thing that like kind of, it's a bit of a weird one. There's a couple of people that I know that like just, well, me included to be fair, who have like we have a sort of idea of one thing that we'd like to do in the future, but not really sure. And this is going to drift on to some stuff that we'll talk about later. But as far as like, well, I mean, one of the things that I like say to them when they're like not sure about what they want to do in life is that there is something that will like fulfill you and stuff, but then you can't get yourself down if you don't find it immediately. So it's kind of like, it's sort of up to something that isn't in your control, but then equally it is in your control because you can just go out and experience more things. So it's kind of finding a balance to like not pressure them, but also inspire them to actually go out and look for stuff. So how much control do you think, well, how would you like propose it to someone without like spooking them, as far as like if they just have no idea what they want to do with their life, but they want to have something that they love and are passionate about. And I guess you can apply what your own like view on this is, but just like if you have no idea what you want to do, or you have a slight idea but you're not really certain, like what kind of things do you aim to do to find that?
What, from if I was to advise someone or if I'm doing it myself?
Either.
Well, with myself, I've literally had that for a long time. Like my whole life, I've been like, what do I want to do? And then I sort of tried to think, what are my core values? Like, what am I super passionate about? And it always came back to the same thing. So, like, even though I may be quite academic, it's not something that I'm super passionate about. So I wouldn't be fulfilled in that way. So when it comes to advising other people, it would probably just be like, what are you super passionate about? And if you're not, then they genuinely do have to just go out and try and experience different things and try different things.
Yeah. Would you? Because there are yeah, I definitely agree with that. All of that, by the way. There's certain things that people are passionate about. I mean, it's a tricky one. I can't think of any more useful examples other than like video games, for example. So like loads of people are passionate about that, but also other things like hobbies, for example. If you're in a position where because like a lot of people are in a situation where they're like studying to do something that like maybe their parents have told them that they should do, but then instead of studying they procrastinate by pursuing something else, like, oh, I don't want to do law, I'm gonna play tennis or something. Is that a sign? It's kind of the question that I asked before, but like, if there's something, because it's striking the balance between having a path, having a path to like go down, so that you kind of got a stable life, but then is it worth it? Because sometimes in that kind of situation where you're like at uni, it's I either study lots to do this thing, or I can try and pursue another thing. So I don't know, because it's a bit of a leap of faith thing, but then some people, it just might not work out for them. So I don't know. What do you think about like hobbies and pursuing passionate things, as opposed to doing like stable things?
Oh gosh, well, if you don't like something, then why do it? Because you're just not going to be happy, and it's just not. I don't know. Like, why would you do something you don't like? But I was very much like, I need to get a good job and everything, and my parents are like super anti what I think, but so it's difficult. But I do think that take the leap of faith and.
Oh, hello. We can still see you.
Wait, you can see him?
Yeah.
I can't see him.
You've gone into a bit of a mosaic, Joyza, or Georgia. You're kind of looking a bit blocky, but we can just about see you, so it's all good.
Okay. What was I saying?
The difference between your parents' view on like future life and yours, kind of thing. That's what I remember you last saying.
So taking a leap of faith, I think, is quite cool, and if you can do that, then you literally already have the mindset of like, I'm gonna succeed, because even if something doesn't work out, there is another way. There's not just one way to do each thing. So it's like knowing that if you're making excuses, like, is it excuses that are actually holding you back from everything, or are you just making excuses because you can't be bothered to pursue it anymore? And you find ways and not excuses, I think.
Okay, that's definitely, yeah. Your mind often is the pickle in this situation that's stopping you.
Yeah.
Is that because there are lots of different ways of sorting that? Would you say, like, because you've got your morning routine and doing a load of things that help you with the mindset? Is that because sometimes people just won't be motivated enough, and sometimes they prefer external motivations like talking to people? Would you like, because there are advantages and disadvantages of both of them. Because sometimes, like, if you're relying on yourself to motivate you, sometimes you just can't be bothered. But then sometimes if it's another person, it's like they don't like fully understand your ideas and things, and sometimes they like it's hard to rely on someone because it's a bit of a thing to pressure them with. So
Yeah. So there's a few things. I think you should do kind of both at the same time. So there's such things as accountability partners. So like finding someone who is like understands you what you want and how important it is to you, and then just ask like, wait, you cut out.
oh, hello.
Oh, am I here?
Did that just go for like?
Both of you have been fine on my end this entire time.
Okay. So yeah, having somebody to just cheer you on, possibly who want the same thing as you, but also I find if you can't find someone like that, and you say people want other motivations, there are a lot of things on YouTube, and like loads of motivational videos, and there's also like affirmations, which are like things like saying I am this. And there's so much stuff on YouTube to just look at, and it's just so inspiring. Even for me, if I'm like feeling super like I can't be bothered to do this, I'll just like stick on a motivational video. A lot of the ones are like by Abraham Hicks and a few others. I'm not sure. I'll just like, I don't know, but there are a lot and they're really useful.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, in motivation, you kind of have to know your why and what you really want, and just keep coming back to that.
Okay. That's interesting because we were talking. I don't know how we got onto it, but in the last podcast that we did, we were saying about like motivational videos, and well, Oscar, you explain your experience with motivational videos.
What was my experience with motivational videos? I forgot what I said.
Okay. Because like. For Georgia, it's clearly like been extremely, really beneficial and inspiring. But then there's the other side of it, because it depends on how you receive these kind of things. It also depends on.
Oh yeah. I remember what I was saying. Yeah, I mean, I've watched quite a lot of motivational videos on YouTube, and yeah, some of them can be really great, but sometimes I find that they can be a little bit kind of toxic in a way, where they kind of make you, if you're trying to do something and you feel like so bad about it, or find it's so difficult, sometimes it's okay to just quit. Sometimes it's okay to do that, but these motivational videos can sort of make you feel really bad for doing that, and it can kind of make you do something that you don't want to do. Like, what do you think about that?
Well, if you're like trying to pursue something you don't want to do, then again, that's just like, don't do it then.
Yeah, but I mean, like, even if you're doing something that you do want to do,
Yeah.
but you get to a point where it's like so difficult, and you've got other priorities, or like if you have expenses to pay, bills to pay, and whatnot, and whatever you're pursuing with these motivational videos, you find that that's taking up too much of your resources. Even though you like to do it, sometimes it's okay to just quit sometimes, or take a break, or to slow down.
Yeah, slowing down is so important. Like, for me, I don't watch motivational videos often. Like, I've watched possibly one in the past 3 months. Like, I don't usually watch them at all, because again, they can be quite toxic. Of like, if you give up, like, you're a failure. But I think slowing down is really important, because when you slow down, you can kind of get clarity more, and you also don't burn out. Like, I found I used to burn out so much, but like, yeah, slowing down, as you said.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Yeah, it's all about striking a balance between like progressing your life, but also like not obviously burning out and stuff. I don't know where, because it's a tricky one, and it's a big issue that I think a lot of people have, or don't realise that they have, that they're like they're in a situation where they're kind of just reasonably happy, but then they're like, how do you balance between like pushing yourself but obviously not burning out, but like because like if you're trying to do something and you keep failing, it's going to obviously like make you feel worse, and the more that you don't succeed, it's just an endless spiral kind of thing. Because it's kind of like accepting. It's a pickle, because sometimes you're just in a situation, or some people feel like they're in a situation where they just can't escape or can't achieve the thing that they want to. And I just don't know what you do in that situation, because it's like you feel like you've got all this motivation and you're doing it, but then things aren't still working out. So is it a thing that you kind of need to accept the situation and then like be happy in it in order to progress beforehand, or do you kind of have to like, or should you just progress kind of thing?
So yeah, you do have to be happy where you're at, otherwise it's like, I don't know, this is a random example, but like for weight loss, for example, you have to be like happy in your body now before you can change your body. And I don't really know the science behind that, but I think that's important for like, I think it's like self-love and like compassion, rather than just like hating yourself and then thinking I'll be happy when this happens. But could you give me like an example of when, if you can't achieve something, that you're trying to do something over and over again, you can't achieve it?
Yeah. Okay, I do have an example. It's slowly drifting into the standard path conversation, and I'm like really hyped for it. But we'll come to it. So for example, okay, like say you're working 9 to 5 kind of thing, and you're reasonably happy, but you've seen other people achieving more, and you kind of want to do more. So you decided that, and you like seen that, oh, that job X looks really good. I'm gonna study subject Y, and I'm gonna do that. But like you're not getting anywhere in your studies, and you keep procrastinating doing other things because like it's easier just to keep on doing your 9 to 5 and just kind of just not accept that you're just like kind of zone out and just keep going rather than feeling bad about progressing kind of thing.
So like instead of doing what you really want to do, you just shut it out of your mind, you mean?
Yeah. So you don't feel bad that you're not there kind of thing.
That's you just have to think like, how important is it to you? And it's also all about the journey. And if you think about it in the way that everything you want already exists, so you just have to enjoy the journey and not be so hard on yourself, and just like let things flow and make choices along the way. So if you're like failing at a test, think like, right, what can I do to improve my situation? You could possibly take a break, because if your brain's constantly bombarded by things, it might just need a break, and then you come back to it. And yeah, or there is the other situation of like just making a focus zone of just lighting some candles and then studying and just getting into the zone. I don't really know what I'm talking about, to be fair.
I love a good
Yeah, I mean,
candle.
Kai, what you were saying about, the standard path, like, some people, they are happy with their 9 to 5s and with what they're doing. But I find that, if you want to suddenly sort of change career or sort of, want to try a new job, there's a bit of a barrier to that, because, like, first of all, you got to leave your old job, and then you've got, like, no income as you sort of change. So people might want to do these things, like try new things or try a new job in a new field or retrain, but they can't do it because of life and because of money, because removing that job that they want to quit means that they have no money coming in. So I mean, I think to let people do those things more, you should probably have a universal basic income, but that's a completely different side of it. But yeah, I mean, just like, the will to change, life path is there, I think, and it's just people kind of need to be helped along with it, because I think everybody has their own ideals for whatever life they want to lead. I mean, some people do want the traditional, 9 to 5 lifestyle, have family, that the traditional path. But some people want to live completely differently, and I think, whoever you want to be, do whatever you want, like, kind of thing. I don't know where I'm going with this, but but yeah,
it's all very, very interesting. I'll just explain for people who don't know. One interpretation of what the standard path is you go to school, you go to college, you get a good job, you find a house, you get kids, get married, you keep working on a job, and then you retire, then you die, or something like that. And then, like, their kids do the same as well, so it's kind of like a little standard circle. There's so much to talk about here, and it's really cool. What do you think about the standard path, Georgia?
I mean, for some people it might work really well, but others, they just want to be not in that structure, and that's like me. I don't want to be in that structure, and I don't know, I just wouldn't be fulfilled just like working for somebody my whole life and not doing what I want to do based on time freedom, money freedom, and everything. But like for some people it might be fine.
Yeah. I mean, I find that I wouldn't want to go down the standard path as well. I find that I just want to be flexible. I just want to do what I want to do. I kind of know what I sort of want to do. I mean, I'm actually experimenting with quite a few things now over the lockdown to sort of kind of figure out what I want to do in life. And I've actually started a sort of mini YouTube channel just to like see how that goes.
Yeah.
But
nice.
It's just like I want to kind of do whatever, and like not be in the same routine. But as you say, some people might want to do that, and that's cool. You live your life however you want to live it. Yeah.
With because the people who really don't like the standard path, they see all of these little stages as like distractions from getting what you actually want. But then certain things are just, for example, like having kids. For a lot of people, I mean, it's like nature wants us to want to have kids. So like statistically, a lot of people will be fulfilled by that, and also like getting a good job is like a good way to survive. But then, so like part of it is like stuff that just would make a lot of people happy. But then, like, because people always say about like distancing yourself from the standard path and things because it's too signposted, and once you've done one thing you have to do the next thing. What because both of you clearly are not sure about pursuing it. What bits are you kind of jutting out from because you've already done college and things?
What do you mean?
Like as far as not pursuing the standard path, what like bits?
Well, because our generation is like totally different to the past because we've got the internet and everything like that. So there is a new kind of world of work where you can work online and reach a lot of people online, and that could be a really good way, and you can use that to your advantage. So for me, I'm starting online business, and I came across this in such a weird way of like, I just wanted some hair products, and then somebody reached out to me to say, look, I have hair products. I was like, okay. And then they said it was like £100 for like 3, and I was like, no, thank you. And then they introduced me to the whole world of network marketing, and that really interested me. I was like, I've never heard of this. What is that? And it was just something I really wanted to do. And then I found out the difference between low and high ticket marketing, and so now I'm pursuing a high ticket marketing, and it's just so much more sustainable. And obviously you do have to put a lot of work in, and a lot of people might think, I just want the easy way, but that's not, going the easy way isn't going to get you where you want to be, I don't think. You just got to put in an effort for a short amount of time for like long-term success.
Yeah, I mean, I find with the effort thing that you just mentioned, I find like that you get well, short-term satisfaction from, stuff like watching TV and watching YouTube.
Yeah.
You get a mini short-term satisfaction, mini hit of dopamine, and then there's long-term dissatisfaction.
Yeah.
But if you try something like, say, for example, you want to run every single day, but the running is like really difficult and you're very unsatisfied to start off with, but afterwards you feel in the long run a lot more satisfied. And
Yeah.
the same probably could be applied with your business, I guess.
Definitely. I listened to a podcast the other day where it said exactly what you just said. Yeah. It's like you have to try and find that little bit of dopamine in the things you don't like. So, like, for running example, you'd get, like, the dopamine from probably the endorphins afterwards. But while you're doing it, you're like, I don't want to do this, but...
Yeah.
It's really, really interesting, all of this stuff, I think. It's one of the alternatives to the standard path was being an entrepreneur, which is sort of what I think is what you're doing, really.
Yeah.
And the disadvantage, or like the perceived disadvantage, is that there's no like clear set out thing that you do. Yeah, exactly. So you kind of have to be more focused and stuff. And I guess some people see it as that, like, oh, I could do this and pursue my own job thing, but then equally I could just do my 9 to 5 with no risk and just watch TikToks, and that gets me the satisfaction in my life. Because it is a thing, because like I was just thinking about it, like, you see people like these TikTok houses or YouTuber houses where they're living their best life and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people watch that and think, oh, that'd be so cool, but then that's where they stop at, because they've got the enough of a dopamine hit from seeing other people doing it that they just think, oh, well, it's not going to be me, but this is really cool, and it kind of like stops them from achieving it. So, like, because that's, you could just keep doing that. You go to work for 10 hours at Mackey's, and then you watch TikTok, and then that feels like just enough to keep you going. But then,
yeah, it's like the difference between surviving and living. So I think, for me, like, doing a 9 to 5 is like you're surviving. You're just having the income and the freedom that allows you to survive, but not really live and do what exactly you want to do.
yeah, I guess it comes down to the fact that, like, because we've advanced so much in human civilization, that it's not about surviving. And well, the definition of surviving has changed, because well, I mean, this is a massive generalization, and it only applies to like a lot of privileged people. But just generalizing it to the UK, it's more difficult. Like, dying or not dying is less of a consideration. More most of the time, it's just like where you get the food from, because like you can get benefits and things, or you can just simply just keep going in the job that you're doing. But then, like, a lot of people you'd think would feel like they'd enjoy pursuing other things more, but then it's just, we've been programmed to think that it's risky. Do you think that, like, all of those people who are just in a kind of a loop and not really living as much as they could do now that we've like progressed, do you think that they'd like benefit from just like completely starting anew kind of thing overall, as opposed to just kind of sticking and slowly progressing kind of thing?
Yeah, possibly, because like it would just give them a more, like, just more freedom in general, and it just depends again on like if they really are fulfilled by their job, and like say they don't really want to travel, they don't want to spend more time with their friends or family, then I guess that's okay. But I completely forgot what your question was.
So did I keep forgetting that. It's a pickle, because
same.
it's like, well, because you can do these things like watching TikToks, doing sport, and doing a job. They can all give you some level of fulfillment and happiness, but then it's a case of just deciding which one you want to do. Like, how do you like find? No, it's not how do you find it. It's just like there are so many things that can make you happy and stuff. Is it up to the person? Well, it's obviously up to the person to decide like what makes them happy and what they want to do. But is it like, could you like achieve more or like be more happy if you decide to do something else that you think might? I don't know.
I know what I'm trying to say, but I can't like think about how to word it.
I guess is it? Oh yeah, I know. Some people are happy doing a 9 to 5 job. Is it like is doing certain things in life just kind of okay, I'm gonna rephrase it from a different mindset because this is going around in circles.
It is, yeah.
One mindset that I had was that like I owe it to the people who can't have like a good life and stuff. So like certain people to like die just after they've been born, kind of thing. They haven't lived a good life, and I could feel like bad for them, and like they can't live a good life, so it's kind of wasting my life to like live a boring standard life. So I should achieve more and kind of like live like a just live a cool life on behalf of them. That's like one little bit of motivation, because it's like, well, because a lot of people who have experienced hardship and stuff, they know how to deal with effort and stuff, and they're not going to become procrastinators. But then we're here in our privileged life, and we can do all of this stuff easily, but we just don't because we can't be asked. So like, is it like a bad thing to just want? Because that's a lot of things that the anti-standard path people are doing, is that they're like saying that people who do a 9 to 5 job is bad, kind of thing, or like you shouldn't want to do that, you should want to do other things. But like, because some people prefer to do other things, but then equally some people are fulfilled by that kind of thing. So what do you think about like, it's not job shaming, but it's just like you should want to do something else, and like if you were doing a 9 to 5 job you might feel bad about doing that kind of thing?
No, like, what is perceived as bad isn't like, there is nothing good or bad. It's like your just perception, really. Unless you're literally like murdering someone, obviously that's bad. But like, you shouldn't feel bad if you're doing something that you like. Like, people shouldn't really judge other people for what they do, because essentially you're on your own journey and you should just focus on where you're going, and not just shame people along the way, saying you're not doing what I'm doing, therefore you're bad, you're doing something that's not right. Like, there's multiple ways to live, and shouldn't judge people, really.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you're in control of your life. You are the pilots here. You know, do what you want to do, go where you want to go in life. I mean, I think just shaming people for choosing to go the 9 to 5 route is just so bad, because you know, at the end of the day, although we're all in control of our own destiny, if you know like what I mean, like we can all choose what we want to do. At the end of the day, we're all human beings, and we must, you know, all understand that and sort of work together in a way that, you know, because, you know, we're all the same at the end of the day. But yeah.
Yar.
But yeah.
So yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think you should just let people. It's like you should inspire people, but you don't have to be mean or negative in order to inspire people.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, you'll get nowhere because people just shut off when you insult them. They'll just be like, "I'm not going to listen to you." Like, just inspire.
People react better when they get positive reinforcement than negative. You know.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. So, because you've said a lot about online businesses and things, and you've posted about a couple of these things, and you've switched around from doing certain things. So, like, what's your plan, really?
My plan? Okay, so, I found a company. I came across it. I attracted it. Everything into. So it was like based more on holistic health. That's my main passion, is spreading health, sustainability, everything like that. And it like completely just aligned, and I was like, this is like exactly what I need, exactly what I've been waiting for. So I really just want to help people in their journey, and obviously not by saying like, you're unhealthy, you need to do this, but doing it in a more compassionate way. And So I've come across a company who was based in Japan, and they kind of... Have you heard of Miracle Water?
Yar.
No, I haven't.
It's like natural springs in like different places around the world, and loads of people flock there all the time to just get this miracle water. And essentially it's water that's been struck by lightning at the source, and then it's like ionized, and it has loads of antioxidants and everything, and people are like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. So the Japanese kind of, they, reenacted that with a water machine. So it's like so much better for the human body, and I feel like our water, even though it seems clean, it's like really not. And it's like little tiny bits of chlorine and everything, I know. And it's not going to harm you. It's not going to harm you short term.
We just dropped down dead instantly.
Yeah, it's going to be like years down the line. And because I do a lot of fitness stuff, hydration is super important. So the water we have is essentially too many particles for our body to really,
Absorb?
Absorb, yeah. Absorb it efficiently. So, yeah, and also the business side to it is financial freedom and time freedom, because I really want to travel like all the time. And there's no other way that I could do that, really. And my whole life I was thinking, I just want to travel the world. I just want to make a positive impact. And now this is the opportunity, and going with my advice that I've said on this podcast, it would be stupid for me not to take that opportunity.
Yeah. That's really cool. That's really cool. So, by the sounds of it, it's a combination of selling a product that is just better than just drinking water. Is it that, and also like teaching what ways of seeing about things, kind of thing?
Yeah. So it's like teaching facts about like the way we live, like the water of our science. I mean, the science of the water and like everything in the body, and also mindset, because that's also really important too.
Yeah.
So you've probably seen on my Instagram, but I touch on quite a few different things in that area, and it's not just solely like health. It's also about mindset and mental stuff.
Yeah. So is it like a, so if I was a customer and I found this thing, is it a coaching program or like a product?
It's kind of both.
Like thing like
because you're selling the product, but you're also getting like so many different trainings in terms of marketing, and it's really insightful actually. And then also like coaching your mindset and coaching around your mindset and changing the way you think, and so you're getting like the best of both worlds, and you get a community as well, a community of like amazing people who are really successful in this too.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
So, and because you said how important travel is to you, is one of the reasons that you're doing this is that you can do it whilst you're you can like incorporate into your life as well, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you can do what you want to do whilst also doing this.
Exactly. Like you can work online anywhere, and you can even get passive income because, say if, I don't know, you wanted to join, then you would get the machine off me, and then you would be like affiliated. And if you made a sale, I would make a tiny bit of that, but you would make most of it. And most people would say, oh my gosh, that's a pyramid scheme. But the thing is, when you reach a certain point, like you get cut off. So there's no highest CEO.
Okay.
So it's like, I don't know. It's like a pain.
It's a little bit like Amazon's affiliates link program. Maybe.
Yeah.
All right. That's pretty cool. That is.
Yeah, but the biggest misconception with online businesses is pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I don't know, like, if you're allowed to or if you want to talk about it, but like the whole Monat thing, because that's obviously what you're doing before.
Yeah.
There was so much like conflicting stuff about it. Do you want to like say what led you to go from that to this instead, kind of thing?
Yeah, so I did mention it a bit before. It was like the fact that it was low ticket. So what that means is you have to sell so many products in order to get like anything, to see any results.
Yeah.
And so I was like not wasting my time, but I was just spending a lot of time on this and not really seeing any results. And I know nothing's instant, but then I came across the difference between internet marketing and this new thing is like a direct sales. So you don't actually need anyone underneath you to become successful. It just helps you along the way. But with Monet, you literally did need to recruit people.
Yeah.
And it was just not my thing, because I'd have to ask friends and family to like, if they were interested. And I don't know, I just didn't like that at all.
Yeah. So, that's all really, really cool, and it's like, it sounds like a really, really fulfilling and rewarding thing to do and to base your life around.
Yeah.
Is it, well, like, because you can, you planning on what's like happening next year, kind of thing? What are your ideas and plans for that, if COVID wasn't a thing?
I'm actually really thankful that COVID was a thing, because I don't think I would have come across this. I mean, I might have in like 9 months' time or something, but I think sooner is better than later. So I don't know, I wouldn't really have it any other way. It's like just giving me a lot of time freedom to kind of explore all this kind of stuff. And
yeah.
All right.
Never mind. Okay. Because all this Monat and other stuff thing, it's more of a it's quite a recent thing. It's something that's happened over COVID. Does that mean that you had plans before COVID to do another thing, and that's this new internet thing has replaced it, kind of thing?
I didn't really have a plan before COVID. I was just like, go to uni, and I'm probably still going to go to uni and just do this on the side. And that's why I'm like starting up now, so that I can have a good boost before, and I like know my way around and everything, how it works. But I've always had the wanting to do my own business, so that was always a plan. It was just like where and how and
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
because there's like a ton of excuse me.
Oh, carry on. Sorry.
Oscar, I insist you go.
Oscar, I insist you go.
No, it's fine. So, okay, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, well, I guess about the business that you're setting up now. I think it's a good idea actually, because like if you're going to go to uni in September, you've kind of already sort of laid the foundation that you've had, especially over COVID when there's literally nothing happening at all. So when you go to uni, it'd be like a little bit easier.
yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. That is. Yeah.
It sounds like you've been doing quite a few things too, though.
Me?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well,
I haven't been doing much at all. I mean, since COVID's happened, the first 3-4 months, I was like, what on earth am I doing? I don't know. And I just stopped and I just watched YouTube videos after YouTube videos and all of that. And I just kind of had a sort of, although it was very unproductive, just watching YouTube videos all the time, it kind of sort of acted as a little bit of a mental reset where my mind suddenly went, clicked, and it was like, okay, I've finished my academic stuff. Now I'm going to do some new things. So I've started my own little YouTube channel, which I'm doing, which is quite fun. And I'm doing all sorts of videos on that. And what else am I doing? Yeah, not much really, but I think I'm going to do more stuff. I mean, I'll probably prepare for uni, and I've kind of been... I've applied to do... Uber Eats in Shrewsbury. They do, deliver food on your bike. I've applied for that as well. And
Nice.
Yeah, but yeah, it's not as like proper, not on your level kind of thing.
Help you with your
It's,
fitness.
Very true. Yeah, always an advantage
Yeah.
of doing everything. To be fair.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's really,
I
really
mean,
cool.
You don't need a gym pass if you're doing like Uber Eats or anything like that. You don't need the gym pass because you're just on your bike all the time. And you're getting paid to work out. Instead of paying to work out, you get paid.
Every day is leg day with Uber Eats.
Yep.
Yes.
Very, very nice.
Literally, yeah.
One little thing, because a lot this new business venture that you're talking about, there's tons of independence, and that's a really, really cool thing, and that's not a thing that would have been possible early on, because the whole like thing was that you can only really live with a 9-to-5 job where someone's above you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Would you?
Mm.
Is there? I mean, you don't have to say it if it would like fuck up your career, but is the end goal of like, because you've got tons of independence, but then you're still doing like an idea that someone else is doing. Would you ever want to
Yeah.
have your own kind of thing?
Yeah, okay, so that's really interesting. So, it is someone else's product, and I'm just like the information giver and introducing people to like this new way of living and the product in general. So I'm literally seeing this opportunity as a stepping stone for me to have already that freedom, the financial freedom, everything, and to make connections around the world and like live with some cool people, and then I will definitely start up my own thing. Definitely.
Cool. And
Nice.
is it? I'm guessing it's going to be some combination of like motivation and mental wellness and like kind of just this like living better kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is the dream to directly, and I don't know if this is the thing that you'll be able to do with the current thing, but like directly talk to and like see the benefits that you've had on people, like just one-on-one kind of. Cool. That's really nice. That's really wholesome.
Yeah, that sounds really great. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a quite a big aspiration, but I know I can get there.
Yeah.
Kind of
But
strange
also-
how I've literally never kind of vocalized everything that's going on in my life right now, because what I'm literally doing now is building up my brand, and then I will like kind of announce it to people when like my following isn't just my friends, because that was one thing that put me off before, was I literally had to just sell to people I knew or cold market, and that wasn't. So yeah, I'm just getting everything completely set up, and then I will launch everything.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, does that mean that like, because you've got like lots of videos on your YouTube channel and things like that, is that going to be a part of it?
Probably. That would be more about just like health and wellness rather than me trying to advertise the product, though, I think.
Yeah.
Because people, they don't always buy the product, they also buy you, like your energy and everything.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's because the business is more like you, and it's because it's your advice and the way that you see the world that you're kind of giving to people to make them live better. So cool. That's really, really cool. Very, very wholesome. Cool.
Right.
Yes. The timer on my little stopwatch thingy has just hit an hour, which was the goal that I was hoping to get to. Unless anyone else has got anything else to say, then I guess we're out of time, unfortunately.
That is completely fine. My brain is quite fried right now.
Two down work for one podcast. Georgia Peck, it's been very, very fun. On the interwebs, where can one person find all of your cool motivational jiggles?
Okay, so my Instagram is called Georgia Rose, but the second G is a Q because the other G was taken, so I couldn't use it.
Oh no.
Oh, right. Oh.
And then my YouTube is just Georgia Rose.
Cool. And we'll be expecting to see you with a world-dominating business sometime soon.
Yeah.
We'll be up there fighting Apple in the stock market, I'm sure. Thank you everyone for listening. It's been really, really fun to have Georgia on, and I'm sure we'll see her some other time in the very near future. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for joining me. And if Sam's laptop hasn't died, then he'll be editing it. So thank you, Sam. Anything else anyone wants to say before we end it here?
If you want to find me on Instagram, I'm at Osgaria, Osgaria, and my YouTube is just Oscar Redgrave. And hope you all enjoyed, and thank you very much for listening.
Links will be in the description, everyone. Bye-bye, listeners. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.